What if I told you that the most important thing a woman expects from you is something she will never say out loud? Think about it. Have you ever felt like you did everything right, but something still felt off? Here's the truth. Women won't tell you what they truly want, not because they're playing games, but because they expect you to just know. And if you don't, well, let's just say frustration builds, attraction fades, and you're left wondering what went wrong. But what if I told you there's a way to understand exactly what they need without them ever saying a word? It all comes down to one principle, something ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius understood better than anyone. Stay with me, because once you get this, everything changes. Picture this. You're in a relationship, doing everything you think you should be doing. You're kind, you're supportive, you listen, but something feels off. She seems distant, less engaged, maybe even a little frustrated. You ask her what's wrong, and she just says, nothing. But you know that's not the truth. Here's the thing. Women don't always express what they truly need in words. Not because they want to be difficult, but because deep down they expect you to just get it. So, what is this unspoken expectation? And why is it so important? That's exactly what we're going to break down through the lens of Stoicism, self-mastery, and understanding the hidden rules of attraction. Number 1. Emotional stability over reassurance. Women expect you to be their rock, not to seek validation from them. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is constantly seeking reassurance from their partner. Do you still love me? Are you happy with me? Did I do something wrong? At first, a woman might respond kindly, telling you everything is fine. But over time, this behavior starts to erode her attraction to you. Why? Because deep down, women don't want to be your emotional caretaker. They want you to be their rock. Think about it. Have you ever met a truly confident, grounded man? He doesn't need constant validation. He's secure in himself. If things go wrong, he doesn't panic. He assesses the situation, adjusts, and moves forward. That's the kind of energy women are drawn to. Now, this doesn't mean you should be emotionally distant or never express feelings. It means you should have control over your emotions rather than letting them control you. Stoicism teaches us that external circumstances and even the reactions of others should not dictate our inner peace. If you're constantly reacting, seeking validation, and craving reassurance, it signals weakness. A woman wants to feel safe with you, and safety isn't just physical, it's emotional too. She needs to know that when life gets hard, you won't crumble. That when she's stressed or emotional, you won't mirror her emotions, but instead remain steady. So, the next time you feel the urge to seek reassurance, pause. Ask yourself, am I looking for validation because I lack confidence in myself? Instead of seeking external approval, cultivate internal stability. When you become that steady, grounded presence, she will naturally feel more secure, and your relationship will strengthen. Number 2. Leadership without control. They want a man who can take charge confidently, but without being overbearing. There's a fine line between being a leader and being controlling. Many men misunderstand this balance. Some become passive, afraid to take charge, while others go to the opposite extreme, trying to dominate every decision. But here's the truth. Women don't want a dictator, and they don't want a doormat. They want a man who knows where he's going, makes decisions with confidence, and leads the relationship forward, but without disregarding her thoughts, feelings, or autonomy. Think about a great leader. He doesn't force people to follow him. Instead, he earns respect by demonstrating clarity, decisiveness, and the ability to handle challenges. He listens, considers different perspectives, but ultimately, he takes responsibility for decisions. Now apply this to relationships. If you're always hesitant asking, what do you want to do? Should we do this or that? I don't know. You decide. Over time it becomes frustrating. Women don't want to carry the mental load of always deciding everything. They want a man who can make choices confidently, whether it's planning a date, handling a problem, or setting the direction for your shared future. At the same time, leadership isn't about control. It's not about saying, "We're doing this, and that's final." A true leader takes input, values their partner's perspective, and makes choices that benefit both of them. He leads with strength, but also with wisdom and understanding. So, how do you embody this? Start by being decisive in small things. Choose the restaurant instead of asking her to pick. Take the initiative in planning activities and have a clear vision for your life that she can trust in, but also be open to discussion, respect her opinions, and never force control. When you balance confidence with respect, women feel both safe and valued. They naturally trust your leadership and feel more secure in the relationship because they know they're with a man who is strong enough to lead but wise enough to listen. Number 3, respect with boundaries. Being kind doesn't mean being a pushover. They expect you to stand firm on your principles. A lot of men think that being a good guy means always agreeing, always saying yes, and always putting their partner's happiness above their own. But there's a big difference between being kind and being weak. Women respect men who are kind, compassionate, and considerate, but only if that kindness is backed by strength and self-respect. If you constantly bend over backward to avoid conflict, apologize for things you didn't do wrong, or let disrespect slide just to keep the peace, you're not being kind, you're being a pushover. And whether they realize it or not, women lose respect for men who don't respect themselves. Now, this doesn't mean you should be cold, harsh, or unyielding. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-mastery, of knowing our values, our principles, and standing firm in them. A man with boundaries says, "I care about you, but I won't tolerate disrespect. I'll support you, but I won't sacrifice my self-worth. I want us to be happy, but not at the cost of my integrity." Setting boundaries isn't about controlling others. It's about defining what you will and won't accept. And here's the key. You don't have to argue or explain yourself excessively. A strong man simply enforces his boundaries through his actions, not just his words. For example, if she's rude or disrespectful, don't argue, just remove yourself from the situation. If she tests your limits to see how far she can push, stay calm and firm. If she expects you to abandon your principles for her approval, politely but confidently say, "That's not something I'm okay with." A woman may not always say it outright, but deep down she wants a man who respects himself enough to say no when needed. When you have clear boundaries, she sees you as someone she can trust, admire, and feel safe with, because she knows you won't crumble under pressure. So, the next time you feel the urge to keep the peace at the cost of your self-respect, remember this. Kindness without boundaries is weakness. Strength with respect is what earns admiration. At the end of the day, women may not always say these things outright, but they expect them. They want a man who is emotionally stable, who doesn't seek constant reassurance but provides a sense of security. They are drawn to confident leadership, a man who takes initiative without being controlling. And most importantly, they respect a man who is kind but firm, someone who stands by his principles and doesn't let himself be walked over. This isn't about playing games or trying to win in relationships. It's about becoming a man who is grounded, strong, and self-respecting, not just for women, but for yourself. When you embody these traits, respect, attraction, and deeper connections come naturally. If you found this video helpful and want more insights on Stoicism, self-mastery, and becoming the best version of yourself, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment below. What's one mindset shift that helped you in your relationships? Let's talk about it. I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong.